Hey guys, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for today's Total Body Live. So today is a full body workout. We're not going to be using any equipment. We're going to start off by warming up the body, and then we're going to work into some upper body moves. We're going to focus on our abs, and we're going to work our glutes and thighs. So it should be a really great way of starting off our day. We're going to hit all those major muscle groups. So I'm looking forward to this. I hope you are too. Let's get right into it. So as I said, we're going to start off with a bit of a warm up. So I'm just going to sit in a kneeling position. Hips are evenly weighted. Let's just take a minute to plug the belly in toward the spine and really lift up tall through the crown of the head. The chin is parallel with the mat. Nice. From here, we're going to draw a really large exaggerated arm circle, circling the arms down and back with long fingers. Then we're going to bring the palms facing forward, and we're going to open arm twist to the right, keeping those arms at shoulder height, and then open arm twist to the left, looking out over left shoulder. Good. Another arm circle, really exaggerate it. Circle those arms back, palms in, out to the side, keeping the hips evenly weighted, out to the other side, and back together for another arm circle. So we're moving between those two positions, open arm twist and arm circle, warming up the spine, warming up the shoulders. Good. Opening up the chest and getting into the Pilates breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth as we rotate and circle back. Good. Let's do 2 more sets. Open, reach a bit further back. Look out over your shoulder as you twist, getting a neck stretch in as well. Feels really good. And last one, open arm twist and open arm twist. Nicely done. Lower arms down. We're now going to come into an all fours position, and we're just going to mobilize the hip joint here. So we want our wrists below our shoulders, and we're just going to make sure we've got enough room beside us to take that right knee up and around. So really exaggerating the movement again by drawing a big circle in the air with that knee. Good. Breathe into it, breathe in through the nose, and as you circle up and down, breathe out through the mouth. Good. Inhale and exhale. Nice. Slow. It shouldn't be too challenging at this point. You just really want to mobilize in that hip. Start waking up the body. Maybe take one more. Nice work. Let's switch sides. So now opening up on that left side. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Drawing nice big circles in the air with that left knee. Getting the body ready for exercise. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1. Nicely done. Now from here, plant both palms down into the mat, spread the fingers, curl the toes, and send the hips up into downward dog. Really elongate through the spine here. If you've just woken up like me, you might be feeling a little stiff, so feel free to bend the knees as much as possible to get that lift in the hips. Good. Let your head hang heavy between your shoulders. Really flatten out your upper back here. Breathing deeply, lift the hips a bit higher for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Now let's pedal the heels. Alternating heels, coming down to the mat. Really bend those knees, keep those hips elevated, and scoop your abdominals in toward your spine. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Level out the heels, lower the knees to the mat. And from here, we're going to retract and protract those shoulders. So wrists are below the shoulders, fingers are spread. We're going to keep the arms straight here, but push the mat away a little bit further so we're really broadening across those shoulders. Shoulder blades are separating. Then we're going to inhale and again, keeping the arms straight, but just sink between the shoulders. So sort of knitting those shoulder blades together. And then exhale, protract the shoulder blades, push the mat away. So inhale, lower, shoulder blades contract together. Exhale, push the mat away and separate those shoulder blades, broadening across the shoulders. Inhale, retract. Exhale, protract. It's a small range of movement, but it's a good warm-up to do before we get into our plank work. Really making sure that we know what the shoulders feel like in different positions. Mobilizing the shoulder blades. We've got 3, 2, plug belly to spine, and last 1, push up, nicely done. Now from here, we're going to curl our toes, and the spine is in neutral here, so it's neither fully protracted or retracted. It's just in a nice neutral position. Spine is long. We're lengthening out through the tailbone, and from here, we're going to pick up the knees so that just the shins are hovering above the mat. So we've got weight in the heels of the hands and some weight in those toes. Hold strong in this tabletop position, and then lower the knees down. Let's take another one. Inhale. And exhale, lift and hold. Lift your abdominal wall. Keep your back nice and flat here. Gently protract your shoulder blades a little bit so you're nice and broad. Holding for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower down. Good. Now, if you're not already at the top of your mat, I'd like you to walk to the top of your mat so you've got space to step out behind you. We're inhaling here. We're exhaling, lifting into our shin lift position. Then we're going to take the right leg back, take the left leg back, and hold in plank for 4, for 3, lift abdominal wall for 2, and 1. Step the knees back, so you're back into your shin lift position, and tap knees down to the floor. Good. We're going to do the same thing again. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, hover the knees, plug belly in toward the spine, hold in your shin lift. Now step the right leg back, step the left leg back, hold in plank, creating a flat line with the body for 3, for 2, and for 1. Step it in to your starting position and soften the knees. Nice work. Whew, it's slow, but those are tough. Okay, let's take another one. We're going to lift up, powering up through those shoulders, lifting the abdominal wall. Step back into your plank. Hold strong here. Push the mat away from you. Holding for 3, and 2, and 1. Step the knees back into the starting position and lower down. Amazing work. Now from here, I'm going to step my knees back a little bit so they're a little bit further behind the hips. And I'm going to walk my hands out just a tiny bit further in front of the shoulders. We want to keep those forearms and wrists in line with the shoulder here. From here, we're going to forearm tap, bringing the forearms down to the mat and then lifting straight in the arms. So forearm tap, lift, pushing up through the heels of the hands. Lower and lift, lower and lift. Powering up the backs of the arms. If you need to make any adjustments, you might need to bring your hands back a little bit closer towards your shoulders to really feel it in the backs of the arms, or maybe you need to walk your hands out a little bit further in front of your shoulders. Play around with those little adjustments until you find that sweet spot where you're really working the backs of the arms as you lower and lift. Weight should be in the heels of your hands as you push up. Good. We've got 4, 3, nice work, 2, and final 1. Now, from here, we're going to go into a forearm tap and then a push-up. So I know this upper body work is tough, but we're getting it right out of the way to begin with before we move into those abs and glutes. So let's give it all we've got. So we're going to lower those forearms down to the mat, and then we're going to lower the chest between the hands, hovering the chest up off the mat, and then push up, straightening the arms. So we're lowering the forearms down to the mat, And then we're lowering the chest and pushing up through the heels of the hands. Nice work. Lower, lift, hover, push up. Now when I'm going into my push-up, I'm really making sure my elbows stay in close toward the side of the body so that we're working the triceps in this push-up. Good. Lower and press up through the heels of the hands. Good work. Nice. I hope you're feeling the burn in the back of the arms. I know I am. Lower with control and lift. Lower the chest and push up. Nice. We've got 2 more. Lower and lift. Last set. Forearm tap. Lower the chest and push the mat away. Take the knees nice and wide and sink back onto your heels. Stretching and lengthening through the tailbone. We've got 4 and 3. Really relax into it for 2 and for 1. Amazing work. Let's walk ourselves up to a kneeling position and just shrug any tension out of the shoulders. So roll those shoulders down and back for 2 and for 1. Amazing. Now we're going to lower all the way down to the floor, 1 vertebra at a time. Softening head, neck, and shoulders down onto the mat. From here, we're going to interlace our fingers behind our heads, and the knees are staying bent here. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to bring one knee in toward the chest. Then we're going to stretch the leg out long. Bend that right knee in toward the chest and stretch the leg out long. We're sticking on this right side, moving slowly, peeling head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat as you bring forehead and knee together. Good. And in. And in. So move slowly. We're just warming up those abdominals to begin with. Focusing on the breath. Breathing in to lower. Breathing out to bring the forehead and the knee together. We've got 3 and 2. Lift those shoulder blades. And last 1. Soften the foot down to the floor. Knee is bent. Now we're going to bring left knee in toward the chest and extend. Left knee comes in. Forehead and knee come close together before we elongate the leg and soften the shoulders down. Good. Now your aim here is to keep your lower back pressing down onto the mat. Good. And your elbows nice and wide, head rests heavy in the hands. We've got 2. And last 1. And lower the feet down to the floor. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to release head, neck, and shoulders. We're going to bring both legs in toward the chest. Now from here, I'm going to inhale, bring the arms overhead, and exhale, curl up. Now if it's too much with extended legs, you can curl up into tabletop like so. So we're bringing the arms overhead, knees are in toward the chest, and as we breathe out, we're bringing the hands down to either side of the body. Arms are nice and straight here, and we're either extending the leg or bringing the legs into tabletop. So the knees are right into the chest, and then we're curling and crunching up. You can also eliminate head, neck, and shoulders lifting and just extend like so, focusing on really contracting the belly down toward the mat every time you breathe out and extend. Good. Head, neck, and shoulders elevated is the hardest option. And if you are lifting your head, neck, and shoulders, make sure that your head rests on top of your shoulders every time you crunch up. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Lift a bit higher through those shoulders if you're elevating. And last 1, bringing knees in. Nice work. Now from here, I'm going to bring the hands into a prayer position overhead. Knees are bent. I'm going to lower both feet down to the floor. Now you have a couple options here. You can either come up, bent knee in toward the chest as we cross over to the right, or you can come up with leg extended. Okay, so inhale to prepare. Exhale, cross over to the right with those palms. Keeping the low back pressing into the mat and lifting that left shoulder blade up off the floor to get into those obliques. Nice work. Good. Really challenge yourself by lifting that left shoulder blade up, but keeping the low back pressing into the mat. So you're just sort of rotating around your rib cage here. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Lift a little higher. And last 1 on this right side. Nice work. Over to the left, knee bent or leg extended as you cross over. Good. Really point through the toe of the extended leg, lifting that right shoulder blade right up off the mat as we rotate around the rib cage and cinch in that waistline. Good work. You can slow down the movement if you need to. Focus on form and focus on control and stability in that low back. Good. We've got 4 and 3. Last 2. And final 1. I'd like you to keep the leg extended in the air. Now bring the arms overhead. Reach to those fingertips. Deep inhale here and exhale. Walk your hands up that left leg. Now, if it's too much with the leg straight, you can have the leg slightly bent. We're going to go into our double leg stretch. Or our single leg stretch. So we're going to extend the right leg out long, and then we're going to switch the legs in the air, gripping a hold of that right leg and gently stretching the leg toward the chest. Good. So you're lengthening up the back of the leg. Head, neck, and shoulders can be elevated or down on the mat as we scissor the legs in the air, pointing through the toes, contracting the belly in toward the spine. Try to keep those shoulders down away from your ears. We've got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bring the knees in toward the chest. And you have 2 options here for our final abdominal move. So you can either take your hands on either side of your tailbone like so, or you can keep the palms pressing down onto the mat as we extend the legs either straight or with a gentle bend. From here, we're going to cross the top leg over the lower leg and then the lower leg over the top leg, alternating, making little crisscrosses in the air. Good. We're going to start with the legs fully extended up. Keep crossing, and then we're going to lower a couple inches. Really pointing hard through those toes. Keep going. And now we're going to lower the legs down a couple more inches. Keep crossing. If you want to step up challenge even more, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Lower down another inch. Keep crossing. You can do it. Good. A little bit further down if you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs together. Knees in toward the chest. And relax. You can take the right hand over the right knee, left hand over the left knee. And just circle the knees in opposite directions. Good. Hold in the middle and change direction of those circles. Pressing your low back into the mat. Relaxing your shoulders. And breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice work. Okay, from here we're going to lower the feet down onto the floor and stretch the legs out long. I'm going to prop myself up so that my right leg is on top, left leg is lower onto the mat. I'm going to set myself up for side lying, so you're either on your palm like so, or you're on your outstretched arm, whatever's more comfortable for your neck. Opposite hand comes down on the mat. We're going to pick the legs up together and then bring them slightly forward so that we're in a pike position. From here, we're going to lift the top leg, point through the toe, and then flex and lower. Lift and point, flex and lower. Lift and point, flex and lower. So keep it slow and just really focus on lengthening through the toe as you bring the leg up and lengthening through the heel as you flex and push the heel down toward the mat. When I say push, I mean move with resistance on your way down. So we're never just sort of letting that leg flop down. We're moving it really purposefully, and we're keeping all the muscles switched on throughout the entire range of movement. So we're working those calves, we're working the thighs, glutes, and hips here. Good. Abs are plugged in for torso stability. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1, lower down. Nice work. Now, from here, we're going to lift the leg to about shoulder height or a little bit higher, and we're going to tap, 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 lift. Keep it up. Nice. Now your aim here is to keep that torso still and stable, which is a real challenge. So make sure that your belly is really plugged in toward your spine. You are stabilizing yourself with this hand that is down on the mat. And you're moving a little bit more slowly if you need to maintain that control. Good. Tap, tap, lift. Tap, tap, lift. On that second tap, really act like there's a little springboard under your big toe, getting that leg up and over into that rainbow arc. Good. And last set. And back to center. Nice work. Now from here, we're going to lift the top leg, this time a bit higher than shoulder height, and we're going to start drawing circles in the air. Good. We've got 10 of these each way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing work. Let's reverse those circles for 10, for 9, and 8, 7. Working those glutes, working those stabilizing muscles in the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Nice work. Now we're going to switch positions. We're going to continue to work the right side. I'd like you to come into all fours here now. So the wrists are below the shoulders, knees are below the hips. We're going to extend that right leg out long and square the hips with the mat. From here, we're going to lift the leg and lower. Lift and lower. So just simple to start off with. I want you to focus on pulling your belly button towards your spine so you're really nice and stable in the torso. And again, focusing on torso stability. So lifting and lowering with control. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, from here, we're going to bend the knee, creating a right angle with the knee, and we're going to tap, lift, lift. Tap the knee to the mat, lift, lift. Tap, lift, lift. Tap, lift, lift. So we're really making sure that we're keeping the low back in neutral as we do those double pulses up with that right foot. Lifting that knee, squeezing the bum, tap, lift, lift, and lower. Nice work. Keep moving. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold at the top of that lift. And now we're just going to pulse. Little controlled pulses. Pulsing that big toe up toward the ceiling. Nice broad shoulders here. Protracting those shoulders slightly. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Final move on this side. Keep it up. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Squeeze the bum and lower down. Take the knees nice and wide and sink back into child's pose. Stretching and elongating through the spine. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Walk yourself up to a kneeling position and let's just shrug away tension in those shoulders for 2 and for 1. Nice work. And now let's do the other side. So gently lower yourself down onto the mat. Support your head in your hand or your outstretched arm. Let's lengthen through the torso, lengthen through the legs. Pick those legs up and hinge from the hips. Good. When you're in your nice stable position, hand is pressing down onto the mat for support. We're coming up with our pointed toe and lowering with a flexed foot. Lift and lower. Lift it up, lower it down. Good. Up and flex to lower. Relax those shoulders. Good. Giving it resistance on the way down as you flex and lower. We've got 5 and 4. Last 3, belly to spine for 2 and for 1. Amazing work. Now we're going to lift that top leg so it's a little bit higher than shoulder height. Point through the toe and tap, tap, lift, tap, tap, lift. So drawing that arc in the air, moving that top leg in front and behind the lower leg. Imagining that little springboard under the big toe on that second tap to really elevate that leg up and over with a lot of energy. Good. Focusing on decreasing the range of, I'm having a hard time with that word. Decreasing the range of movement if you're losing stability. So doing a smaller arc or moving more slowly. Good. Relax those shoulders. That's a reminder to myself as well. Good. Breathing deeply for 3 and 2 and 1. Come back together with those legs. And now lift that top leg a little bit higher than shoulder height. And let's start with those circles. Good. These are tough, but super effective. So stick with it. Keep that leg elevated. If you need to drop down for a little split-second rest, then do so, and then bring the leg right back up and continue circling. That's allowed. Good. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Let's reverse. Breathe through it. Oh, these feel tougher on this side than they did on the other. Sometimes that's the case. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Nicely done on that side. Now we're going to come into our all fours position and we're going to continue to work that top leg. So make sure you've got room behind you to lengthen that leg out long. I'm going to move up a little bit further. Wrists are below the shoulders, knees below the hips, and now we're going into that very simple leg lift, but we're focusing on our torso stability. Our abs are really engaged here. So I really want you to lift your abdominal wall up towards your spine and just focus on squeezing that bum as you lift and getting a lot of length through that leg as you lift the leg up toward the ceiling. We're not allowing that low back to arch. or strain. Good. Keep it up. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Right angle with the leg. Lower, lift, lift. Lower, lift, lift. That ab engagement is really important here too, because sometimes when we do the double pulse, we can have a tendency to swing like so. We want to resist that. Just focusing on squeezing the bum to get that lift. Good. We've got 4, 3, stick with it, we're nearly done. 2, and 1. Hold the leg in that right leg position, right ankle position, and now pulse the toe up toward the ceiling, the big toe up toward the ceiling. Keep pulsing. Lift that leg to torso height. Try not to let it drop. Shoulders are nice and broad. Good. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Amazing. Now we're going to bring ourselves down onto our backs for a glute stretch to finish off. So lower with control and cross the leg that you worked first over the opposite leg, and then hug that knee in toward the chest. Try to connect your tailbone with the mat here so that you're stretching through the spine. Relax those shoulders. Hug the knee a little bit closer in toward you. For 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower, switch the crossing of your legs. Breathing deeply as you hug that knee in toward your chest. Relax those shoulders. In through the nose and out through the mouth with that breath. Hug it in a little closer for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower both feet down onto the floor. Use your hands to help you to lift up. From here, I'm going to take my hands behind me. Fingers are splayed out to the side. Knees are bent. I'm going to inhale here. And exhale, just arch the spine and open through the chest. Make any adjustments you need to with your hands. Drawing those shoulder blades together. For 3, and 2, and 1. Nice work. You can turn and face me. Lift your shoulders up by your ears and roll them down and back. Thank you so much for joining me for today's live workout. I hope you enjoyed that sequence of exercises. I hope you feel great and ready to start your day. I hope you enjoy your day, and I will see you again hopefully next week. Bye.